Good morning guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. My name is Paige. If you are new here, welcome to the page in the chapter. It is a Saturday morning and I am, can you make less noise please? I am ready for another week of reading. I do have some housey stuff to get to today. Saturdays I use as my reset day. I feel like I just really get behind on housework or keeping everything tidy during the week. I just don't really finish work and want to do that, so I use Saturdays just to kind of get on top of things. I've started already, but I've still got some more tasks to do. And then I think I'm gonna pick up The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers, mainly because this is quite a short read, so I'm thinking maybe that's a good option. The issue that I'm having is I have just binge read From Blood and Ash and Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I just binge read them back to back, finished one, immediately picked up the next one for the past 2 weeks. And I can't stop thinking about the ending of Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, and I just want to keep reading. Like, I'm kind of obsessed. But I don't think it's a good idea to binge read with the third one as well and just do 3 weeks of non-stop From Blood and Ash stuff. So I think I might switch it a little bit, and that's why I'm thinking The City of Stardust, because this one is quite short and I do think I could maybe get this finished by Wednesday at the latest, surely. But I'm also kind of tempted by a KU romance. Like, as my jumper says, I would rather be reading romance. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be reading this weekend. I might give The City of Stardust a go, maybe get 50 pages in and see how I'm feeling about it then. But for now, I do have to go and get my housey stuff done. I will give you the Marvin content though. He's asleep on a pillow. Hi. You comfy there? I've got to say, as much as I love my parents' dogs, I can't wait for them to go. I am not ready to be a full-time dog owner. I just want to live my best life and I have to keep worrying about their lives at the moment, and I can't say I'm enjoying it that much. But yeah, I'm just popping on in to start the vlog, say hi, and I'll catch up with you when most of my housey stuff is done and I can sit down and actually deal with some content creation and do some reading. If you watched my previous vlog, then you'll know that like Sundays and the rest of the week are my bigger reading days. Friday and Saturday I read the least in the week because I am just busy doing stuff on Friday and Saturdays, so today will not be hugely busy in terms of reading. I'll catch up with you later nonetheless when I have an update for you. I have done so much today and it is only like 11, half 11, but I have now done all the dog stuff, tidied the whole house, filmed some reels, filmed a video. Like, I am ready to kind of just sit and read The City of Stardust for a little while to see if this is fitting the vibe that I'm after. I do have to edit a video and stuff like that, so the content creation stuff isn't completely done with for today. I can't just sit here and read and do nothing, but I'm in a good spot, and to be honest, I'm just tired and I really want to take a break and just read for a little bit. Like, it's still my Saturday, I can't just spend it working every minute of the day, so I'm gonna take a little break now, have something to eat because I still haven't eaten anything, read my book, catch up on some booktube, and just relax for a little bit. Come on then! Come on, you can do it! You can make the jump, come on! Come on, there you go. So yeah, just gonna sit and read for a bit and I'll let you know how I'm finding City of Stardust. I have no idea what this is about. I'm just really intrigued by the cover, and it's was a release that I was anticipating, so yeah, I'm just gonna see what the vibes of this book are and I'll let you know. I am 50 pages into this and I'm actually 60 pages into this. I don't think I like it. I'm not sure. This is a really weird story, but I'm intrigued and I kind of want to know like the mystery. It's like a fantasy like mystery kind of thing. I do not even know how to begin to describe this book. So we have our main character Violet, and she knows that something is afoot with her guardian and what her guardian has been telling her and things like that, and all she really wants from life is adventure, and she's not allowed to have it, and she's been kept very, very secluded and ignorant by her guardian, and she knows that something's up, but she can't really get to the bottom of that. And as a reader, we can't really get to the bottom of it either. We know that her guardians are out searching for her mother who has gone missing, but they keep mentioning that they know why she disappeared, but they won't tell us, and as the reader we're trying to piece together why Violet's mother would have left and abandoned her with her uncles. On the other side, we also have a character called Alexandra, who is training to be a scholar in this kind of parallel world, and his guardian is called Penelope, and she is a real piece of work. And Penelope has made a deal with Violet's guardian that they had 10 years to find Violet's mother, or something was going to happen. And we're getting to the end of that 10 years now, and Alexander has been sent to kind of get information out of Violet without Violet knowing. So to befriend Violet and find out information about her mother. We're following Violet and Alexander as they are starting to form a friendship, growing attached to each other. And Violet is then also trying to work out what on earth is kind of going on. She knows from Alexander now that there's some form of parallel universe, there's a slight magic system going on. It's a very confusing read. It reminds me a little bit of Stardust meets The Midnight Library. Just the tone of the book feels a little bit like that. I don't know, it doesn't really make any sense, but this book, even though it has absolutely not really anything in common with The Midnight Library, keeps bringing me back to that book, and that is the book that jumps into my mind when I think to compare it. So just the tone of the book's the way it's written, and this kind of weird urban fantasy with a kind of mystery element that you really just want to find out what on earth is going on, feels a little bit like that. Also reminds me a little bit of his Dark Materials series, just in this kind of children going missing and fantasy world to do with the children kind of thing. I don't know, it's very, very strange. I am really struggling to figure out what I think of this book, what it's about, and if I like it. And I'm not necessarily having a good time, but I'm also not having a bad time, and I'm not having a bad enough time to DNF it, but I'm also not having a good enough time where I'm yeah, this is how I want to spend my Saturday. So I'm really confused. Think I'm gonna keep going with it. I might take a little break and then keep going. But yeah, very, very strange read, this one. I can't really make heads or tails of what on earth is going on in this story, and yet somehow that's really intriguing. So, very confused by this one. I got to 86 pages of The City of Stardust, but I'm DNFing it. This is my first DNF of the year. My first DNF in a very long time, actually. I really struggle to DNF books because I get a little bit too into the whole Goodreads challenge thing, and I don't like the idea of wasting time and then not getting to add it to my Goodreads challenge. But I am really not enjoying this book at all, and it's just not worth it. I was excited to read today, and I feel I've spent the whole day being half asleep, being distracted, not wanting to pick this up, and it's taking me so long. It's taken me all day. Granted, I have been filming and doing house stuff, but I've had a good couple hours to sit on the sofa now, and for me 86 pages in a couple hours is very slow. And it's very telling of my enjoyment of this book. I feel the only thing that was keeping me interested in this book was the slight mystery element, the fact that we didn't really know what was going on. Now my questions have been answered and I'm just done. I just don't care anymore. The elements of the book that are still left a mystery, I don't care enough about to want to continue. I can't tell if there is a romance element in this. If there is, then I don't think it's a very good one. I don't think these characters are starting out on a very solid basis. I can see where it's going. If they're gonna be friends or more than friends, I don't know, but Alexandra is just outright lying, and I just don't like it. So I'm DNFing the book. I didn't like any of the characters. None of them I really vibed with. I thought the world was very, very confusing. I kind of pieced together that there's they can travel through keys from the real world to this fantasy world. but the fact that a lot of the beginning of the book takes place in the real world is not clear. I kind of was trying to figure out if it was like too fantasy world. I don't know, I didn't think the world building was very good. I don't think the magic system is very good. Granted, it could have been something that throughout the book becomes more explained as Violet starts to understand more about the world. But you know, maybe one day I will pick this up again and I will think differently about it, but I don't like it and I am DNFing it. It's definitely not the vibe for today or anytime soon, so it is time to go and pick another book. I am unsure of what to go with. I've got too many options is the thing, and I kind of want something easy breezy. I was gonna go with The Crown of Gilded Bones, the next book in the Blood and Ash series, but I've read 2 big books recently and I kind of just want something fast and easy and lighter. So I think I'm finally gonna get to The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I think this is what I need, what I'm in the mood for, and this is what I'm gonna read. I'm disappointed that I didn't like The City of Stardust. I really wanted to, but I'm excited to finally be getting to The Wake Up Call. This is enemies to lovers, set in a failing hotel, and I believe they work the front desk. It's signed by the author. It just seems like the kind of book that I need right now, and I think I'll be able to read this just as quickly as I thought I could read The City of Stardust before I knew that I hated it. Yeah, and hopefully I will come back to you with a much more positive update than I have done for the rest of the day. Good morning, guys. Last night took a little bit of a different turn than I expected it to. I did not stay in and read. I ended up being invited out and going out, so that's why you're seeing me this morning and not yesterday. But I am 100 pages into The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. I never actually read my books with the dust jackets on, they just irritate me. I'm glad I DNF'd the last one and I'm glad I picked this one up. I do think it's fun. I'm having a really good time with it. It's a very easy read, very easy breezy, fun, a good time. I like the characters, I like the kind of miscommunication that's occurring. This book is not groundbreaking. I can see from a mile away like why these two don't get along, like what's ended up happening between them. There is nothing groundbreaking about this, but I don't think a rom-com always needs to be groundbreaking. Like, it is just a very fun rom-com. I'm enjoying seeing it play out. I'm having a good time reading it. The main thing that is really bothering me about this book is all of the references to COVID and lockdown and songs that were popular during lockdown and trends that were popular during lockdown. I get that it was a very big thing to happen and we're gonna start seeing it cropping up more and more in different media. But even when I'm reading a contemporary romance, I use it for escapism. That keeps like kind of pulling me out of the story a bit. Like, it's like a constant reminder of like, oh yeah, this is set in like real life. Like, I don't know, it keeps pulling me out of the story a little bit, and I don't love it when there are references, contemporary references that will date a book. Like, if it mentions popular songs and things like that, I'm like, like, if you pick this up in like 10 years time, it's gonna be a bit cringy. I don't know. This one I think is just a personal thing. Lockdown does like play a role in the story. It's not that it's just brought up for no reason. We basically follow our main characters and they work the reception desk at a hotel, and they have kind of always been in competition with each other. They go about things very differently, but in this post-COVID world, this hotel is really struggling for money because they're not getting the bookings and the popularity that they were seeing pre-COVID, and this is forcing them to kind of enter into different competitions to upstage each other, to bring in sources of revenue for the hotel and try to keep it afloat. Otherwise one of them is going to be losing their jobs. So they're very much in competition with each other. They very much don't get along, but there is a tension between them, and I'm enjoying that. I just, as much as COVID plays a real role in the story and I can completely understand like why it's worked in and how it's kind of fun to have it be this aspect of like, okay, we have a struggling hotel thanks to this thing that's happened. Like if it was just that, that would be fine. But all of the references to like the lockdown trends and lockdown songs and songs that were popular at the time is kind of really pulling me out of the story, and I'm not enjoying that as much. But looking forward to reading a lot more of this today. I am going out for a little bit, so it's not going to be as huge of a reading day, but I'm going to keep this vlog going into tomorrow so that we still get the same updates. Hopefully you guys can still see me actually finish a book in this vlog and hear my thoughts and whatnot. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. So it is about 5 o'clock and I have been doing what I do best, which is binge reading, and I have now finished the book. I am gonna give this book 3 stars. I finished it. I finally finished a book in this vlog. I think it was cutesy. It was very easy to read. It had some genuinely cute moments. I did really like these characters together, and I think as far as enemies to lovers goes, it was probably as logical an enemies to lovers as one can get in a contemporary romance, whilst also still towing the line of it being like believable that these characters should get together and they're not just like awful people. So I didn't hate it. I had a good time with it. It was just so predictable. It didn't really make me feel anything, and if you don't like miscommunication, then you're not gonna like this book. Like, they don't communicate. I will say though, there is like a point at the end of the book where they kind of address the fact that they communicate terribly and like actively work on it. So at least by the end of the book you can kind of believe that they will have overcome this issue and could have a good relationship. It's just a whole book of miscommunication between a lot of characters, not even just between Izzy and Lucas. Like, everybody in this book is not communicating with each other, and yeah, it was just a little bit meh. I don't know, I think it was a very heartwarming rom-com. If this had been a movie, like, this would have slapped as a movie. I think just maybe reading it was a little bit long. I would say that I would recommend it. It is very Christmassy actually. The book is set at Christmas, which I wasn't expecting. It's like maybe towards the end of the year, if you want like a Christmassy rom-com that's not aggressively Christmas, then like this is a good one, because it's kind of like just set at Christmas, but it's not super about Christmas. So I would recommend it. I would just be wary if you hate miscommunication, and like this wasn't a 5-star for me. It's not like a favorite book of all time, but I do think Izzy and Lucas were very cute. Like, there were some moments that were just really cute. So do with that information what you will. How have you opened the door? I'm feeling a bit like reading out. I have read pretty much this entire book today and I'm a little bit over it, so I might not pick up another book tonight, and I might just catch up with you guys in the morning to pick a new book for a new week, because yeah, I'm just really not in the mood to do any more reading. So what a cutie. So I will catch up with you guys in the morning and we will pick a new book to read. Hello guys, it is Monday afternoon. I'm taking my lunch break. I look like a mess. I'm still in my pajamas, my hair is greasy, I have no makeup on. It is really just one of those like Monday vibes today. Like, it's not, I feel gross. The fact that I have to turn a light on because it's just that rainy and dreary and overcast today is not really helping the vibe. And I'm feeling slumpy. It was bound to happen at some point with the rate that I was reading and like consuming any book I could get my hands on. So I'm not surprised, but I don't really know where to go from here in terms of choosing a book. So I feel like I should go with something short, but I don't really have many short reads. I also don't really want it like a super heavy fantasy or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what to do from here. I'm thinking of possibly reading A Fragile Enchantment, because this is a YA and it's not like the shortest read ever, but it's definitely not long either. And I've heard like some good things about this book. The writing is also pretty big. So this is less than 400 pages and the writing size isn't too bad. So I'm thinking we could read A Fragile Enchantment, or maybe the next Bridgerton. I always get through these quite quickly, so maybe, or actually, because sometimes, like, I don't know, Bridgertons are not like the best books in the world. They're really fun. I'm really happy I have the special editions and I do like picking them up, but like I can see why these books are not like amazingly praised and most people prefer like the TV show, because they're iffy. They are sometimes a little bit difficult to get through. I could read Wildfire. I've been meaning to get to this one for a long time. The next book has just been announced. This would be an easy read. How many pages is this? This is also under 400 pages. Oh, just more options. I have another F1 romance because that's becoming more of a thing now. This is also under 400 pages. I've had this one on my physical TBR the longest though, so I'm thinking Wildfire over Bloodstream. So now it's just between Wildfire and A Fragile Enchantment, and I'm thinking I'm leaning towards Wildfire more, just because of the fantasy elements in this. It could make me more slumpy, whereas this is guaranteed to just be good fun, kind of on the same level as like a KU romance, that it's going to be so easy to get through and great for a slump. Honestly, anything you can find on KU is probably going to be good if you're feeling like you're in a bit of a reading slump. The reason that I don't want to go towards KU today is because I have a KU vlog that I want to start filming later this week, so I don't want to read anything KU today, otherwise that's just going to be a little bit too much KU in a short space of time. But I'm going to read Wildfire on my lunch break and we'll see how this one goes, if this one pulls me out of my slump a little bit more. I've had a lot of like 2 and 3 star reads this month, which has not helped. This was a good choice. I've been reading this for, I mean, less than an hour really, but I've been reading it and it's so fun and just easy to read. Really enjoying Aurora and Russ already. I'm not even 100 pages in. I don't think I'm even 50 pages in. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this. I think it's really fun. I will say that the amount of characters is very off-putting, and I don't remember who a lot of these people are from the first book, but hey ho, we're gonna have a setting change soon when summer camp setting gets introduced anyway, so hopefully a lot of these background characters I won't really need to remember for a lot of this book. But yeah, honestly, really enjoy Aurora and Russ. I think Russ is so cute. Like, we don't get shy guys in hockey romances a lot of the time, or like sports romances in general, I guess. Like, it's very unusual to have like a really shy, like timid guy, and I don't think he is necessarily shy, but he comes across kind of shy and adorable, and I already really like him and Aurora together. I think they're gonna be a really good pairing. I'm really excited to see the tension between them play out more in the book, in the rest of the book, because it's like already started in like the first 30 pages and it's already so fun to read. I'm grinning from ear to ear whilst I'm reading this book. So yeah, I think I made a good choice. I do think that this is gonna pull me out of my slump, and you know what, I actually think that I'm preferring this one to Icebreaker. Obviously not even 50 pages in, cannot really be making that claim yet, but I think I'm gonna like this one more than Icebreaker. I do. Unfortunately, I have to get back to my job now, which is very upsetting, but after work I will do some more reading and update you. It is 7 o'clock and I am about halfway into Wildfire. This was a great book to pick up if you're feeling slumpy and you're a fan of romance, which I assume you are if you watch my channel. Then you need to pick up Wildfire. It is such a fun little read. It's very fast-paced, which at times I think maybe I don't like this because it kind of just feels like we're zooming through for a lot of character development, but the fast-pacedness is making it so easy to read. I think I'm probably gonna finish this whole book tonight or like early tomorrow, and the fast-paced is very helpful with my slump. And as fast-paced as it is, I don't think it is zooming through the relationship development. At times it can feel a little fast, but then it's like the author backtracks a little bit and then we do start to get more like on page like time between the characters and relationship development in that sense. So I think honestly torn between whether to give this 4 or 5 stars right now, and I love this book. I love this so much more than Icebreaker, and I love Aurora and Russ so much. They are so fun, and I cannot wait to read the rest of this book and see how it all ends. I unfortunately need to go and shower now, but I've been putting off the shower because I just want to keep reading. So honestly, this book has slapped as a slump defeating book, because I went from not wanting to pick up a book a couple hours ago to putting off everything that I have to do this evening just so I can sit here and read some more. So we kind of slayed on that front. I'm gonna shower, then I'm gonna read some more, and then we'll see where we are. Hopefully I will update you some more tonight. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for final thoughts on Wildfire. I have finished Wildfire. God, this book is good. This was a great decision to pick this up. It's just so light and easy to read. It is fast-paced in a way that just gets you through the pages so quickly, and I think Aurora and Russ are just a good couple. Any issues they come across, they handle in a really healthy way, and that is so nice to see in a romance novel, particularly like what is kind of like a new adult romance novel. They're just really healthy, and I really enjoyed seeing their romance, and it was so heartwarming. I will say, I don't think this book is particularly sexy. Like, the sex scenes are not that sexy. I feel like you could take them out of this book and the overall tone of the book and enjoyment of the book would have been the same. Like, I don't think they really add anything at all. But if you're in the mood for just a genuinely good romance and you don't really mind that the sex scenes are not that sexy and you could kind of just skip over them, then I think this is a really good option. And so I am giving it 4 stars because this really surprised me. I've been putting off reading this book since October because I just did not think I would enjoy it that much. I did enjoy Icebreaker, but it really didn't blow me away. This one I am seriously impressed by, and I feel like you should read this book. Even if you didn't like Icebreaker, read this one. Seriously, it's good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing some of my thoughts about these books. I had obviously the unfortunate start to the reading vlog of DNFing, but at least then read some fun contemporary romances after. I mean, the Wake Up Call was a slight disappointment, but is made up for the fact that I enjoyed Wildfire so much more than I ever expected I would. And we defeated a slump today, so go us, everybody. If you enjoyed this vlog and you would like to see more from me, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below and stay tuned for future content. I upload every single Wednesday and every single Sunday, so there is no shortage of bookish content here for you to enjoy. Also, do please feel free to check me out on Instagram/Brookstagram at Page in Chapter, because there's all sorts of fun bookish content over on there as well. I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, you're enjoying everything you are reading, and there are no reading slumps in your future, and I will see you for my next video. Bye guys.